Now we will discuss about phosphine gas. The chemical formula of phosphine gas is PH3. Phosphine gas is used as a smoke screen. A smoke screen is a cloud of smoke which is used to stop the movement of enemy vehicles. The smoke screen is used by military units. When calcium phosphide is added to water, phosphine gas is released. Phosphine gas coming in contact with air produces phosphorus pentoxide, which releases white dense smoke screen. In a similar manner, phosphine gas is also used in Holmes signal. Holmes signal is a technique used by sailors for making emergency lighting on the sea surface during the night. Under this technique, a box containing calcium phosphide and calcium carbide having a small hole is thrown in water. Calcium phosphide and calcium carbide coming in contact with water release phosphine gas and acetylene respectively. Phosphine gas catches fire in air. The fire ignites acetylene to support combustion reaction, releasing lot of heat and smoke. Phosphine gas is also used as dopant in semiconductors. Doping is a process of adding impurities to intrinsic semiconductors to increase their electrical conductivity. Since phosphine gas ignites in the presence of air, it is also used as fumigant, polymerization initiator, and as an intermediate for making several flame retardants. Phosphine gas has also been detected in the clouds of Venus, which is considered as a possible sign of life. In September, a team led by astronomers in the United Kingdom announced that they had detected phosphine gas in the cloud of Venus. The gas was detected by using two Earth-based telescopes. Scientists think that phosphine gas is formed in the dense atmosphere at high temperature and pressure. Note that Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. The surface temperature on the Venus is around 475 degrees Celsius in the daytime, which is hot enough to melt lead. Now question arises here, why phosphine gas is considered as a possible sign of life on Venus? Bacteria on the earth such as anaerobic bacteria takes up phosphate from minerals or biological minerals, add hydrogen and expel phosphine gas. Note that anaerobic bacteria do not require oxygen gas for their growth. Any organism on Venus will probably be very different to the Earth cousins, but they too could be the source of phosphine in the atmosphere. These are the important points about phosphine gas. Now let's discuss about its preparation reaction. The first preparation reaction is by the reaction of calcium phosphide with water or dilute HCl. When calcium phosphide is added to water, it dissociates. It can dissociate in dilute HCl also. Okay, dilute HCl also. It is a double displacement chemical reaction. We have calcium phosphide reacting with waters. Water gives us H plus ion as well as OH minus ion. Calcium phosphide will give us calcium ion and phosphide ion. You can see positive and negative attraction is there. Then we form the product. We have calcium hydroxide and we have phosphine gas. Phosphine gas. We can balance this equation. 3 calcium multiplied by 3, 2 phosphorus multiplied by 2. Okay. How many oxygen are on the right side? 3 2 is 6. 6 oxygen equation is balanced. Okay. In the similar manner, we can complete the reaction of calcium phosphide with dilute HCl. We have calcium phosphide reacting with dilute HCl. HCl will give us H plus ion as well as Cl minus ion. Calcium phosphide again giving us calcium ion as well as phosphide ion. Positive negative attraction is there. Okay. Products, we can form calcium chloride and then we have phosphine gas. Phosphine gas. Balance this equation. 3 calcium multiplied by 3, 2 phosphorus multiplied by 2, 3 2 is 6 Cl then multiplied by 6. Equation is balanced. Okay. This preparation reaction plays a significant role when we talk about the application of phosphine gas. Okay, when we talk about the application of phosphine gas. Let's move on to the second preparation reaction. The second preparation reaction is by the reaction of white phosphorus with concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide. Keep in mind this chemical reaction is carried out in the absence of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a Lewis acid and sodium hydroxide is a strong base. Acid base reaction may take place. Okay, so that's why this reaction is carried out in the absence of carbon dioxide. We have a white phosphorus P4, sodium hydroxide, some quantity of water is also there because it is a solution, concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, we have the main product, that is phosphine gas. Byproduct we get, that is NaH2 and it is PO2. It is known as sodium hypophosphite. It is sodium hypophosphite. Okay, now we can balance this equation. Multiplied by 3 plus 1 is equal to 4 phosphorus, multiplied by 3, then we can multiply it by 3. Okay, equation is balanced. Now keep in mind, in this preparation reaction some quantity of hydrogen gas as well as P2H4 is also produced. P2H4 is known as diphosphine. Okay, when only phosphine gas is produced, it is in the pure form, and pure phosphine gas is non-inflammable, means it does not catch fire in the air. Okay, pure, you can write pure. PH3 is non-inflammable gas. Okay, but when these impurities are present in the phosphine gas, this phosphine gas becomes inflammable. Okay, this phosphine gas become inflammable. So we need to remove these impurities. First of all, we understand how these impurities, hydrogen gas as well as diphosphine, are produced. We have same reaction P4 and it is NaOH and water molecule is there. Okay, in this case what happens? We get hydrogen gas, some quantity of hydrogen gas, and then we get this NaH2 and PO2 also. Balance this equation. Multiplied by 4 because 4 phosphorus are there, multiplied by 4. How many hydrogen? 4 to 8. Then 4 hydrogen multiplied by 2. Equation is balanced. Some quantity of hydrogen gas, you can see reactant are same, but hydrogen gas is also produced. Now we talk about P2H4. We have P4 and then we get NaOH and H2 is there. Then in this case we get P2H4 and again we get NaH2 and it is PO2. Okay, balance this equation. Multiplied by 8 to 10, better I multiplied by 2, then total 8 plus 4 12 phosphorus, multiplied by 3, phosphorus is balanced. Okay, multiplied by 8 and multiplied by 8. What about hydrogen? 8 to the 16 hydrogen is balanced. 4 to the 8 hydrogen, equation is balanced. Okay, so you can see these are the impurities. Okay, due to the formation of hydrogen gas and P2H4, phosphine gas becomes inflammable. Okay, when we talk about pure phosphine gas, it is non-inflammable, means it does not catch fire in the presence of air. Okay, in the air it does not burn, but it starts burning in the presence of air when these impurities are present. To remove these impurities, okay, as impurities, you can see these are considered as impurities. These are considered as impurities. In the presence of these impurities, this gas become inflammable. Okay, to remove these impurities, this phosphine gas is reacted with a strong acid. We have phosphine gas. When it is reacted with a strong acid, that is Hi, a strong acid, this is base and this is acid. Acid base reaction will be taking place and then we get salt. We have PH3 and dot Hi. You can write like this also, PH4 and I, same thing only. Okay, a salt formation is taking place. Now what do? We take a strong base KOH. Now keep in mind, this portion is a strong acid, this portion is a strong base. Acid base reaction will be taking place, and now in this case you can see they will neutralize each other. We get potassium iodide, it is in solid state. Hydrogen combines with OH forming water molecule, salt and water, and we get separated what? Phosphine gas in the pure form. Now it is non-inflammable, means it does not catch fires, okay, when it is in the pure form. Okay, so this is the preparation reaction of phosphine gas. Now let's discuss about its properties. Next we have physical properties of phosphine gas. These are some selective physical properties of phosphine gas. Phosphine gas is a colorless gas. It has rotten fish smell like ammonia gas. Phosphine gas is heavier than air, and phosphine gas is less soluble in water. Why it is less soluble in water? Now pay attention very carefully. We have hydride of nitrogen, that is ammonia gas, and hydride of phosphorus, that is phosphine gas. In ammonia gas we have hydrogen bonding. Okay, that's why ammonia gas easily dissolves in water. But in phosphine gas we do not have hydrogen bonding, that's why it does not dissolve easily in water. This is one reason. Another part about dipole moment, we have learned dipole moment. As the electronegativity of the central element increases, dipole moment also increases. Okay, and when the dipole moment increases, polarity increases, and when the polarity increases, its solubility, means the solubility of molecule in water also increases. Now pay attention carefully. Nitrogen is more electronegative than phosphorus, means in this case dipole moment will be heavier than this one, means ammonia is more polar than this molecule. Polarity is there because lone pair is present. If lone pair over the central element is present, polarity will be there. In comparison to ammonia, phosphine gas is less polar, that's why it is slightly soluble in water. Less polar, less soluble. Simple. Now next, change in phases. We have a phosphine gas. At this temperature it can be converted into liquid form, and at this temperature it can be further converted into solid form. Okay, now we talk about structure. In case of phosphine, phosphorus is forming how many bonds? 3 bonds, means it has one lone pair. Apply the concept of Weissenberg theory in chemical bonding. It has 3 sigma bond plus 1 lone pair, means in this case the shape will be pyramidal. Base structure is what? A tetrahedral. Okay, at the center you can put phosphorus. This is the lone pair. We have hydrogen. Bond length between phosphorus and hydrogen is 142 picometer, and this bond angle is what? 93 degree. This is what? 93 degree. Okay, so these are the physical properties of phosphine gas. Now let's discuss about its chemical reaction. Next we have chemical reactions. First chemical reaction is heating effect. When phosphine gas is heated at 440 degrees Celsius, okay, it produces red phosphorus. It is red phosphorus and hydrogen gas, releasing hydrogen gas. Okay, keep in mind the heating of phosphine gas is done in the absence of air, because if air is present it will get oxidized. Okay, now pay attention carefully. Balance this equation. 4 phosphorus multiplied by 4, 4 3 is 12 multiplied by 6. Equation is balanced. Now we talk about second reaction, that is with air. Okay, oxygen gas. Phosphine gas reacts with oxygen. Okay, and in this case phosphorus is undergoing what? Oxidation, and it will convert into its highest oxidation state. Highest oxidation state of phosphorus is what? +5. In this case what? -3. Minimum oxidation state, highest oxidation state. Okay, remaining portion hydrogen will combine with oxygen to form water molecule. We get water molecule. Okay, 2 phosphorus multiplied by 2. Okay, how many hydrogen? 6 hydrogen multiplied by 3. Okay, how many oxygen? 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 multiplied by 4. Equation is balanced. You can see in this chemical reaction, as soon as reaction is going to complete and water molecule is formed, water molecule should be removed immediately, otherwise water molecule will combine with P2O5. Otherwise water molecule will combine with P2O5 to form H3PO4. Balance this equation. 2H3 phosphoric acid. Okay, phosphoric acid is formed. Okay, so this is the reason in this chemical reaction, as soon as water is produced, it should be removed to stop this reaction, otherwise both will combine together to form phosphoric acid. Now let's move on to the next chemical reaction. Next we have chemical reaction with acid. Phosphine being basic in nature can react with acid to form salt, because acid base reaction is taking place. We have phosphine, basic in nature, and HBr, acid base reaction, then we get salt, PH4Br. Okay, salt is formed like ammonia reacting with HBr, ammonium bromide will be formed NH4Br. Okay, next chemical reaction we have PH3 phosphine gas absorbs in copper sulfate solution as well as mercury chloride solution. Okay, when phosphine gas is passed through this solution, it gets absorbed. Okay, now how we can complete the reaction? It is also a double displacement reaction. Now pay attention carefully. We have copper sulfate and phosphine gas is there. Okay, from here you can see you will get what? +2, and the sulfate ion is -2. P, it is present in -3 oxidation state, hydrogen is present in +1 oxidation state. Positive negative attraction will be there, means copper will combine with phosphorus and sulfate ion will combine with hydrogen. That's it, double displacement reaction. Then we get what? Copper phosphide, we have Cu and it is 3 and it is P2. You need to satisfy the valency. And hydrogen will combine with sulfate, and of course we are going to get acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Now we can balance 3 coppers multiplied by 3 sulfate ion multiplied by 3. Well, how many phosphorus? 2 phosphorus multiplied by 2. Equation is balanced. Okay, now next we have mercury chloride, HgCl2. Okay, in this case it is +2 and it is -1. Then we have phosphine, phosphorus is -3, hydrogen is +1. Okay, now Hg will combine with phosphorus and Cl will combine with hydrogen. The reaction is complete. We get Hg, it is +2 and it is -3. Then we get Hg3 and it is P2, and then hydrogen combining with Cl, then we get HCl. Okay, H plus ion combining with Cl minus ion. We can balance this equation. 3 Hg multiplied by 3, 2 phosphorus multiplied by 2. How many Cl are there? 3 2 just 6 multiplied by 6. How many hydrogen? 3 2 just 6. Hydrogen is balanced. That is how easily we can complete these reactions.